You know the feeling. One day you make a choice completely consumed by a surge of emotion, only to regret the fallout hours later. The next time you overcorrect. You shut down your feelings entirely, forcing yourself to rely on cold logic, which leaves you feeling hollow and disconnected. You pull back and forth between these two extremes until the fibers give way. Getting trapped in that cycle is common. It happens because your brain is relying on learned survival behaviors to navigate stress, rather than processing the situation with balance. The skills we are discussing today are strictly educational. They offer tools for navigating daily life, but they are not a substitute for clinical therapy. Acknowledging that internal tug-of-war is the necessary first step to stopping self-sabotage and regaining control of your choices. In the late 1980s, Dr. Marcia Lenehan developed a framework called Dialectical Behavior Therapy, or DBT. It was designed to help people manage overwhelming emotions by finding a path between change and acceptance. This chart represents the effectiveness of DBT. Research shows it can reduce symptoms so consistently that many patients eventually drop below the clinical threshold for their initial diagnosis. To achieve that level of recovery, DBT practitioners rely on a core concept known as Wise Mind. Wise Mind is a specific tool that helps you stop choosing between your head and your heart, allowing you to use the strengths of both. Imagine receiving a text from a friend canceling your weekend plans at the very last minute. Your first reaction might come from what DBT calls emotion mind. In this state, your decisions are driven entirely by raw feelings, moods, and immediate urges. Caught in emotion mind, that cancellation feels like a deep personal rejection. You might lash out, sending an angry paragraph that creates a mess for the relationship once the dust settles. The opposite extreme is reasonable mind. This is where decisions are dictated exclusively by facts, logic, and detachment. If you react for reasonable mind, you might text back a robotic "fine" while suppressing your actual sadness. You go out to movies alone, but you feel completely disconnected from your own hurt. Both of these extremes fail because emotion mind ignores the reality of the situation, while reasonable mind ignores the validity of your feelings. If you want to learn practical daily skills, like and subscribe to DBT Me. To find a balanced response, we look for the overlap where emotion and reason work together. This is Wise Mind. Wise Mind is about honoring those emotions while simultaneously thinking clearly about the facts. It is the synthesis of our feelings and our intellect. Applying Wise Mind to that canceled text allows you to acknowledge your valid disappointment, the emotion, while also recognizing that your friend's busy life is not a personal attack, the logic. This balanced perspective helps you send an honest, measured response. You might tell them you are bummed to miss out, suggest another day, and respect the reality of their schedule. Choosing to act from Wise Mind helps de-escalate immediate tension while preserving your self-respect and the health of your relationships over time. Reaching Wise Mind requires a physical prerequisite. You must intentionally pause and take a slow breath to interrupt the autopilot reaction. From that pause, you can use a central psychological prompt to center yourself. What do I know to be true, and what do I feel? Try it now. Think of a decision you are currently facing. Identify what your emotion mind is demanding, and then identify what your reasonable mind is dictating. Now, sit quietly with both of those conflicting perspectives. Give yourself a few moments to find the space where they both exist. By making space for both the emotional truth and the factual reality, you can arrive at a decision that respects your needs and the situation. This integration leads to choices that are more likely to hold up after the initial stress has passed. Subscribe to DBT Me to continue learning these tools. Building a life worth living happens one skill at a time. While we are here to educate and empower you, please remember that this content cannot replace professional mental health care. If you are in crisis, please call or text 988 immediately. If you are looking for a certified therapist, you can visit behavioraltech.org. Mastering the mind takes practice, but you deserve the peace that comes with it.